Let's understand about the first logical link, if then. Now, if then can be used in several ways. It can be used in an affirmative way, as I told you in the earlier, or it can be used in the negative way. Okay. Now, I took one of the statements in the earlier videos which said that if India chases 274, then it will win the World Cup. Okay. Now this very statement can also be written as following. If India do not chase 274, then it would not win the World Cup. Now if you notice, both the statements have the same meaning, right? And we are not looking at a situation where there is a tie. So I'm assuming that when it says chases, it means that you surpass 274 score. One, which is this one, is in the affirmative and the other one is in the negative. Now how do we know that this is in the negative? Because it says if India do not, then it would not. While both of them are using the logic of if then. Okay, so this logic of if then can be used in multiple ways. Okay, I mean there could be very large number of ways in which this logic of if then can work. So I'll take you through some of the standard ones, and then you can look at them at your own end to see how it works. Okay, so the first kind of statement which are there and which is also there in this case is, let's say that there are two events X and Y. These are basically the ones where I am taking only two events. So in this case, what is happening here is the statement is of the form that if X happens, then Y will also happen. Now what does this mean? What is X? I mean, just like I told you, these statements can be broken down into two parts. So let's see this. India chases 274. So this is the first statement which we denote by X. The second statement is India wins the World Cup. Okay. So this statement is basically in the form of if X happens, then Y will also happen, which means that if India chases 274, then India wins the World Cup. So if it is given that X has happened, then as a necessary corollary, it follows that Y would also happen automatically. I mean, there is nothing further to be done to make Y happen. So if India chases 274, India wins the World Cup. If X happens, which is India chases 274, then Y will also happen. India wins the World Cup. It's not necessary that in addition to doing this, anything else happens. Once you've chased 274, you win the World Cup. So if X has happened, then Y will also happen automatically without anything further being required to be done. Similarly, if you were to take one more example, let's say if I watch a movie, I would know if it's good or bad. So basically, X is what? I watch a movie. Y is what? Knowing if it is good or bad. So once I have watched a movie, assuming I didn't sleep through it, because that is also what happens with many people, then I would know if it is good or bad. So if this has happened, this follows automatically. There's really nothing further that required to be done. Okay, so these are the first kinds of logical link statements entailing if then, which implies that if one thing has happened, then the other will also happen. So here the reasoning that you need to apply is that, if you know about cricket, you know that while chasing you have to have a particular score which is done by the first team. If you score more than that, you win the match. And here it's a question of winning the World Cup. Okay,